You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?
Welcome back to the Words Are Hard podcast, guys. Today, well, actually, we're doing the randomizer thing, aren't we?
Yeah, so, we don't know what the fuck's going on.
We don't know what we're going to talk about.
Yeah,
it's still new to me.
We explained it 700 times last week, so we're not going to explain it again this week. We're going to randomly pick our topic here. We had a few suggestions.
Which, thank you, by the way.
Yes, thank
Those
you all
are now
for your
in the randomizer, correct?
That's right. If you want your topic in the randomizer, put it in the comments below. We'll put it in there. If it's drawn and you put a request along with your topic, then we'll do the request.
Within reason.
And the topic. Yeah, you stop saying that. Nobody cares.
No, I'm saying within reason because if one of our...
Because you're scared, Greg? That's appropriate.
Yeah, I'd like to see where you're going to come up with the sausage and bacon that was requested with one of those.
I already discussed it with Alex.
Oh, okay.
We're ready to go. Fucking ready for you, Dave. Today we're talking about fears.
Fears.
Yeah, that's right. Your deepest, darkest fears.
So we're scared of nothing.
Fuck you, you're not. Even just your regular fears.
We're going back to OG fucking Words Are Hard podcast in this one, aren't we?
That's right. I think Alex and I did a podcast a long time ago. This was before we were doing the straight up show. I'm pretty sure I was doing laundry with a wireless headset when I was talking to him about. We were talking about fears, yeah. Let's start with Greg then. Instead of recapping, let's start with Greg.
I have some of the most unfounded fears.
And that's the title of the last video was Irrational Fears.
Yeah, well...
That's right.
People that know me...
Well, we can talk about rational fears, too. Not all fears are irrational.
I don't know. I think mine are all irrational.
Do you?
People that know me know that I'm kind of an introvert. I have kind of issues with wanting to leave my house. That was a big deal for me to actually join the podcast in the first place because of that.
You had to leave your house for more
You had to leave your house?
I had to leave my house.
You have like agoraphobia, or?
It's not even that. It's just...
Fear of spaces.
I don't do well with other people.
Fear of people?
And it's not even so much a fear. I just don't like people. I can barely tolerate you two. But I do have some anxiety issues. Not so much lately, but for a while there, they were really bad. And some of the stuff that I would sit and think about is just, you guys would think I'm nuts. But, like, for example, one of my fears, where we're at here in this area, we're right under a flight path for the airport.
Yeah.
One of my fears would be I'd be laying in bed, trying to get to sleep at night, and I'd hear an airplane going by, and then my mind would just start turning, like, what would happen if that plane crashed into our house? Like, what would I do?
So, I mean...
See, you're laughing, but that's a legit fear.
Well, because I'm laughing because you think you would do something. You're not going to do shit
that's
about
my
that.
point. Like, I'm like, I'd die. Like,
that's some Donnie Darko shit there. I guess. I mean, like the plane engine just coming crashing through your living room. You know, where you're like inches away from.
I'm always
from where
scared
it
that
was.
they're just gonna flush out like the laboratory reserve over my house.
Yeah.
It just comes down as a huge chunk of frozen poo.
Some Joe Dirt level stuff right there.
Joe Dirt level shit. Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. Exactly. That's funny.
And then another thing that and it's stupid because I still will sometimes sit at home and think about it, and it bothers me, is we're close to the base here, right?
The military base.
The military base.
Well, that's the thing. I grew up in the PMQs.
Yeah.
Like I grew up seeing like the students that were the student drivers that were driving like the tanks and the labs and stuff were like going by my street like every day.
That's not what bothers me. What
I'm just saying I was exposed to it a lot.
Well, what one of the irrational fears that I have is I have a fear of being attacked by another country. And I'm thinking, we're close to a base here. If another country was going to attack, what's the most logical spot for them to attack?
I mean...
And then I start freaking out thinking, I'm going to see guys with guns coming out of the woods here any day now.
So, CFB Gagetown is not...
a strategic...
It's Canada's largest base, but it's the largest training base.
Yeah. Because
we have a whole lot of training fields. So it's not so much that it's like... I guess sort of a central hub. It's an important base.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Well, like I said, or like you guys said, the whole basis of this episode is irrational fears. I'm not saying my fears are well founded.
That's
by
right.
any
That's
means.
right. I'm trying to rationalize them.
I made
far
the
as, like-
mistake of watching Red Dawn though a week or two ago, and I was like, "This is my greatest fear in movie form."
As far as like random soldiers coming out of the woods, like to,
You never
to
saw Red
terrorize
Dawn?
public.
Oh, I'm thinking about Red with Bruce Willis.
No.
I'm like, you're afraid of
It was-
being a
it was the-
retired, wanted
Yeah.
hitman.
No, that's my greatest dream.
Yeah, that's like a dream come true. Is that
No,
I kill people?
I
for a
watched
living.
the remake of Red Dawn that has Chris Hemsworth in it, and the original Red Dawn was a movie about a group of kids that
You're
fight
scared
back.
of Thor.
Yeah, I'm terrified of Thor. No, but the original Red Dawn, it was done during the Cold War, so the whole basis of the movie was that the Soviet Union invades the U.S. and attacks, and then this group of kids fight back. So they remade it a few years back, and of course, because the Cold War is not really going on or so much anymore,
Yeah.
they changed it so it was North Korea that invaded. So it's a movie about North Korea invading the U.S. and taking control of these towns, and this group of kids led by the older brother who's an army ranger or whatever
Yeah.
fight back. And it's a really good movie.
Speaking
but-
of North Korea, did you hear John McCain's comments about Kim Jong Un recently?
No, what?
He called him. He said something along the lines of he is a fat man child, or something like that.
Basically, yeah.
And they were like, or no, he said he was a weird fat man child, and they were like, you can't say that. There's a lot of tension right now. And he goes, "What? You want me to call him a normal fat man child?"
Oh,
And everyone was like, "The fuck, John
Yeah,
McCain?
what's wrong with you?
Well, that's the thing is that
No
I mean,
wonder you were in a POW camp, you fucking idiot."
That's the thing. People have said that before, right? That he's a baby with a hand grenade, as Philip DeFranco says. That baby is getting really good at throwing hand grenades, right? Their whole missile testing, but it's been said before that he's a fat man child, and I think there was some North Korean propaganda that posted a picture of Kim Jong Un, but a lot slimmer, and they're like, "No, see, he's not fat. This is him today." It's like, fuck off.
He's still a man child.
I mean, you
Yeah.
eat more than what
That-
your people do in a week.
Yeah, that
In a
was
day.
just the side. Yeah, that's not hard though.
No, exactly.
Like,
I bet I do
Jesus.
too.
So yeah, now that we've made fun of stuff that I'm scared of. what
Yeah,
about
now
you
that we
guys?
made fun of the North Koreans for a while.
Yeah.
I think I talked about it before. My irrational fear, it was, I have a big fear or dislike of fingernails. I hate really long fingernails, but specifically detached fingernails, which I believe stems from my. I thought they were gross, but then one morning I woke up and my mom and my sister decided to play a prank on me, and they took their fake press-on nails and they put them on my pillow next to me, and I nearly threw up. And but anyway, when I was younger, I had these weird dreams where I was standing out on the street, and it was all foggy, and a dark man in like a total cloak or trench coat or whatever
Slenderman?
walks up, and he took, my mom used to have this metal nail file that was sharp on the end, and he took that and he just poked it through my belly button, just very casually, and then like my gut started spilling out, and I was like, what? So I've always had a fear of being poked in the belly button, and I remember we had gotten over it, kind of.
Okay.
It's just with things.
No,
you
I
know?
know.
And I remember I was in high school, and I was in a theater arts class because I wanted the credit. And it was easy. We were doing a play, and there was this guy who was playing a giant, and he had like this fake like sword. And we were standing backstage, and like this guy was literally like in high school. He was like 7 feet tall. He was like a freak. That's why we had him play the giant, obviously.
Yeah.
Anyway, he took the fake plastic sword. I forget his name. It was Shay. Yeah, I remember. Anyway, doesn't matter. He took the fake plastic sword and he pokes me in the belly button, and I was like, "Fuck you!" And I like clocked him, and he's like, "What the hell?" And I was just like, "I'm scared of that shit." And he was
sorry.
like, he apologized to me.
I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, wasn't he like weirdly apologetic?
Yeah, he was like, "Oh
he's-
man, I'm so sorry." I'm like, well, I hate you.
I just knocked you on your ass.
Well, I didn't knock him on his ass. That would have taken a lot.
There's also one other thing, if I remember correctly,
Yes,
about
I had the same dream that sort of reoccurred. I was in the same place, same fog, same street, same man walked up, and this time I was like fucking 6 years old when I had these dreams, right? And I was standing there. It was cold, and my nipples were hard, and I had my shirt off, and he walked up with a pair of nail clippers and just went, and he clipped my nipples off.
I think you've told me that one before.
And I was like, what the fuck, dude? So I've always been scared to have my nipples clipped off by nail clippers. So like my irrational fears all stem from manicure tools and fingernails. And I don't know if it like manifests from the same place. I don't know, like my mom put like fingernails in a tube sock and beat me with it or something, but like
And you're just
I know she
repressing-
did.
You're just repressing those
I know
memories?
she did, and I'm just saying. Like that's
Or did she?
yeah.
I'm
I'm just saying that like where does a feel
What
like
did
that?
you do, Mike's mom? What did you do to Manzi Poopy Pie?
I'm just saying, like, I don't know where the fuck that would have come from.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know.
It does have a theme though. I see where you're going with that.
I have other fears that like I've always been stuffed up my whole life. I've always had nasal problems. I literally like I'll walk around in public and I'll put in my headphones because I like to listen to music. But then I start to get a fear that people can hear me breathing. Like, you know what I mean? Like shit like that.
Just self-conscious
like,
shit.
Yeah, like there's
exactly,
little
yeah.
social anxieties where like I'm a social person. I don't mind people. I don't mind talking to people or being in front of people and stuff. But I'm always self-conscious that I'm doing something that gets like
That somebody's noticing.
yeah, like I had to go buy. I went to go get a present for my nephew for his birthday the other day, and I was in Toys R Us listening to music. I was looking at like kids' toys, and all of a sudden I was just like, everybody thinks I'm a pedophile because I'm just standing in Toys R Us breathing heavily. And I took my headphones out and I'm like, okay, I'm not breathing heavily, but I want to listen to music again.
Okay, see, being someone who collects toys, I have the hardest time with that too.
Well,
Because I obviously go to the toy aisle to see if there's something cool that I want to pick up. And then while I'm in there, I see all these families with their little kids, and I'm like, I'm a grown-ass man standing here. I look so
Grown-ass
creepy.
bearded man
Yeah.
in a toy aisle.
No, I'm not here for your children. I'm here for the toys.
when you have a beard and you get older, not when you're super old, because like really old
Not
men,
when you're my old, you mean?
No, like really old men, you could be like, oh, they're cute, you know what I mean? But like when you start getting like middle aged and you have a beard, you have to walk a really fine line, where it's just like
I live a rough life.
where it's just like don't wear a trench coat. You know what I mean? Like shit
For
like
God's
that.
sake, don't wear a trench
Yeah,
coat.
because there's a fine line between a scruffy middle-aged biker-esque person or a hipster and a public masturbator, and they are all a trench coat away from each other.
I think I ride the biker line more
Yeah,
than
just a little bit.
anything, because I've been told that before. I guess I normally wear a leather jacket when I'm out. Not a trench coat, but I have a leather jacket.
Are you scared that people are going to label you as a biker?
No, it doesn't bother me at all. Because honestly, if I had the money, I'd have a bike and I'd be a biker. So the only thing holding me back is I can't afford one right now. So
I have other weird fears of like my subconscious, like that I repress something that I don't remember because I repressed it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
like your mom beating you with
No.
beauty utensils when you're a
But
kid.
like I'm always just like, well, what if I repress something that I don't want to bring up? And somebody goes like, what? And it's like, I don't know, I fucking repressed it.
Yeah.
Idiot.
How would I
that's-
remember?
That's kind of the point. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just I've always been scared. Like I remember when my friends back in high school were just like, you want to try like salvia or like other hallucinogenic like hard drugs, and I was just like,
No, I live that.
I was like, no, I don't want to live my subconscious. I don't want to reach deep down into me and find out that there's somebody there I don't want them to be. But I mean, fucking Jared.
Jared, deep down, it's just
That
hashtag fuck
explains the
Jared.
irrational fear of Jared's.
Yeah.
I don't have a
Or
fear
hatred.
of Jared. Hatred of Jared's. I don't know. I've never.
What about
met
you, Alex?
I've never met a good Jared.
So I think we should bring up the Jared thing again eventually. But so for me, I'm not really afraid of much. Like I'm not afraid of death specifically. Like everyone's like, oh, I don't want to die. It's like, I mean, at this point, I've done shit in my life. Life is cool, but whatever. I'm not. This is not a cry for help. I'm not like
Yeah.
out to die or anything.
You're not suicidal.
I'm not
is what you're
suicidal,
saying.
no,
Yeah.
but I'm just not afraid of death. Now, but I since that episode, I got thinking like, what were like the times that I was like the scared the most? And there was this one point when I was like 8 years old. We were at like friend's house, family friends,
Yeah.
and their son was a complete and utter dickhead. Like even now, I think he's like in prison. I don't know. Anyway, this kid, he convinced me, because I'm like 8 years old. He convinced me to get into like this metal laundry basket. Right, it had holes in it, and so like I think
A
we're
metal laundry basket?
oh, what it was, we were playing hide and seek. Yeah, it was like this metal like bin with like a cover on top of it.
Oh, like a laundry hamper.
A
not
hamper,
a
yes,
basket.
yeah.
Garbage
So like
bin.
Yeah.
yeah, so basically, yeah, this metal thing. Anyway, so I get into it, and we were playing hide and seek. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And I get in it, and I'm just like hiding there, and then he tips it over, sets it on top of the
The lid.
the lid,
Yeah.
and then sits on it.
So you were upside down.
I was upside down in a very, very tight space. Like this laundry hamper was just big enough to hold my body, and so like I'm trying to squirm around.
That couldn't have been a very big hamper.
It was no. I mean, for an 8-year-old, basically,
Yeah.
picture 8-year-old size.
I'm
and
just thinking regular sized Alex, it couldn't have been very big.
not at all. No. So I was trapped in this thing, and he kept me in there for like a solid 2 minutes.
I thought you were about to say a day.
Just
A
no.
full day.
I'd have
Full
got
day.
bored.
He sat down and turned his Game Boy on.
Yeah.
So
Started
like so
going.
to a point, I guess I ended up I had big claustrophobia issues at that time. I guess.
You would.
I
the thing, is
and
people get-
subconsciously like there's if I'm that close together,
Yeah.
like then yeah, that's a problem for me. But
I see.
normal tight spaces
See,
are fine.
most fears though are founded in something like an event, something like that. Like
Yeah,
my mother
that's-
has a huge fear of snakes. Like she's terrified of snakes. She can't even see a cartoon snake on TV, and she'll freak out. And it's because when she was a kid, her brothers thought it would be funny and threw a bunch of live garter snakes in her bed, and she got in bed with a bunch of live snakes. That's stuck with her.
Oh my
Sure.
god.
And ever since then, she's been terrified of snakes. Obviously,
Well, my girlfriend's uncle
That's fucked.
apparently is
Your
afraid
what?
of needles.
Go on.
Is afraid of needles.
that's
right?
the first time you've admitted it, and we have it on camera.
Sure. Let's move past it. Anyway, her uncle is afraid of needles because when he was younger, he was running and fell basically into a bee's nest. And basically, there's like this big cloud of bees, and immediately chased him, and he got stung something
Ugh.
like 80-something times, right? Like,
Yeah, and then he stepped on a syringe.
he started saying,
Yeah.
So, like,
So
it's
now he's
basically
scared of
like the
needles.
stings, right? So I mean, obviously recovering from that, that's you're not gonna want needles or
Yeah.
anything poking into you.
I think
for a
my
while.
father developed a fear of snakes. Because he used to tell me stories about how, like, he used to, like... He's like, oh, when I was younger, I tied a snake to a rock and threw it in a river or something stupid like that.
Yeah.
Like, he used to fuck with snakes, and then, like, he was in the military and went away to Cyprus. And he said he woke up and there was, like, a poisonous snake, like, right above him in his
Yeah.
bunk, in his face.
Oh, that would freak me
And,
out.
yeah, well, it did. And, like, ever since, it's just like, fuck snakes.
Well, my cousin taught in Thailand, right? And he's woken up with cobras and scorpions
Oh my
and
God.
shit
I
like
did
in his
not
house,
think
right?
that you said your cousin taught in Thailand. I thought you were naming your cousin, and I thought you said, "Oh, my cousin taught in Thailand." I'm like, that's a weird fucking name.
I thought he said his cousin fought in Thailand.
Taught as in school.
I'm like, he was the kickboxer?
no.
Was he in Bangkok?
He just went.
He visited several times, from what I understand. Yes.
He just went there and beat people up.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, what else do you do in Bangkok?
so I mean, at that point, I mean, being that close to snakes, poisonous snakes, you're not gonna have a fear after that point. When you're a grown ass man.
Yeah,
For me, I mean,
it
if
could
I,
make it worse.
I mean, like
that's true.
I've been bitten by snakes before, like.
Well, my dad was a grown ass man when he ran into that snake in Cyprus.
Yeah, but I guess well, that's true.
But what, Alex?
No, I mean,
What?
that makes sense. No, it makes sense. I mean, I got bit by Cuddles, the 6.5-foot boa. He, like, latched into me. I'm like, oh, that sucks. Bled. It was no big deal. It
Yeah.
didn't hurt. I'm like, oh, well, that sucks. If it was a poisonous snake, or venomous, rather. Cause
Then you wouldn't have been sitting here right now.
well, I mean, they have antivenom somewhere around here.
I don't know if they would.
I don't know.
They might.
Maybe.
I don't know. I have a weird fear that things like I just have a fear of not knowing if something's around. You know what I mean? So it's not really a fear of the dark.
Do
It's
you
what's
do you sit alone in your room and just say, "I can hear you," several times to yourself out loud?
when I was younger, like I wasn't necessarily scared of the dark. I was scared of what could be in the dark, what I
Sure.
couldn't see. So like I'm not scared of ghosts. I don't believe in them.
Yeah.
But the concept scares the shit out of me because it's something that's there that I can't see or control. Right?
When I was
So-
a kid, my biggest fear was aliens.
Really?
Because
That's-
we watched a lot of unsolved mysteries. My dad loved unsolved
Oh,
mysteries.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And
yeah.
I was just terrified that aliens were going to come abduct me.
I remember when I was a kid, I used to sit up and I used to say shit like "get out" or like
Yeah.
at night, like I'd look up and I'd just be like, "Leave, you're not welcome," because I was just like, I don't know what's there, so I was just telling.
So
whatever.
I mean, and like you said, I mean, like the fear of the dark is kind of dumb, but fear of what's in the dark is totally rational to me.
Yeah, I'm okay with it being dark if I have an understanding of what's in the room. You know what I mean? Like if we turn all the lights off right now, I would be fine. But like,
But what if I blindfolded you, rearranged the furniture, and then turn the lights out?
Well, I'm in the same room. I don't care. my problem is going somewhere that I don't know of,
Like a cave.
in the dark. Mostly houses.
Okay.
Like if I go to a house that I don't know, and
it's dark.
and like the
It's like
lights.
your
are off.
sketchy friend Tom who offered you a candy bar one day, but also said, "Hey, it would be funny if I shot up the office, eh?" And then you like go to his place for like cookies or some shit, and you find bodies in the basement.
Yeah, that's another one of my irrational fears.
Is your friend Tom's gonna shoot up the workplace?
I don't have a friend named Tom, but somebody shooting up a workplace, yeah.
For real? Oh man, I'm not scared of coworkers. Fuck.
No, I own that
It's
shit.
not
Like,
even necessarily
I think-
a coworker. I'm scared of just somebody with a gun randomly opening fire.
Okay,
Because there's so many shootings in today's day and age.
quick
and that's-
thought.
No, I think there's just as many shootings, but
Just
you
they
hear about
hear
them
about
more,
them more.
because we have bridged the gap of the global information sharing.
Yeah.
Okay, quick thought. Do you guys ever think like if there was a fucking a gunman walked in, if they walk through the door, I'm gonna fucking own this shit and take that gunman out.
No,
you ever think
I'm
that in your
thinking
head?
I'm going under the desk.
Yeah.
I'm going to hide and hope he doesn't see me.
I'm gonna be the fucking hero here.
I think it out all the time. I'm always just like, I would be a murderer.
like you look at like the door,
Yeah,
and you're like, if he comes in through here,
yeah,
I'd like grab that lamp that's over there on that desk,
yeah.
like
or
throw it at
you
him.
picture yourself getting up like, no, you don't want to do this, and then he's just like, I don't. It's like
Give me the gun. Give
What
me
are
the
you, a
gun.
Jedi?
everybody's a Jedi in their mind. But as soon as it happens, like I'm out that piece.
I mean, realistically, what would probably end up happening is if there was a gunman, either A, I'd be the first to get shot because that's my luck,
Yeah.
or B,
You'd be the gunman.
no.
I'm scared to be stranded without options. I have like this weird adult fear where like if like my wife and I were traveling to like Halifax, that we would like run out of gas and have no money to pump into the car. And
I've
like
had that fear
that's like
before.
my only fear is like that I can't
Or that the
adult
car
somewhere
breaks
else.
down
Yeah.
and you can't afford to get it fixed, and then you're stuck.
Oh, I'm fine with that. I would just call somebody that I know. What I'm saying is like I'm scared of being stuck in a scenario where I can't adult somewhere else. I can't just freely live my life. So
That
I
makes
don't
sense.
know. It sounds like we don't really have any rational fears. Although Alex is a fucking hero, so
I'm gonna be a fucking hero.
lessons learned.
I'm a wuss. But I've known that, so it's not really a lesson for me. But now the world knows I'm a wuss.
Lessons learned: the fear of heights is irrational because it's not the heights that's gonna kill you. It's not the fall that's gonna kill you. It's the sudden stop.
It's the landing.
It's suddenly stopping. I don't know. I think the biggest lessons learned here today is that we're all a bunch of pussies and you can probably totally fuck with us. I don't like manicures. Craig doesn't like everything. And don't try to shoot up Alex's workplace because he's got you on lock. Hey guys, thanks for watching that episode of the Words Are Hard show. If you have any of your own irrational fears, let us know down in the comments. Also down in the comments, let us know the topics that you want to hear, that you want us to put in the randomizer. Give us a request along with the topic and we'll do that request when the topic is drawn. If you would like to check us out on social media, links into the description for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can follow us on that. That's a lot of fun, isn't it? Yep. We have a shirt store also in the description if you want to check out some merch. You can wear some sweet faces on your sweet chests, I guess. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, click on the channel icon between Greg and I here. If you want to watch a previous episode of ours, you can click between Alex and I here. Thanks for watching.